Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin, and today I'm very excited. I'm going to be watching Seungmin Stray Kids on LeeMujin service. It looks like he was the second guest to ever appear on the show. It says episode 2. I did check because I was curious. The first ever episode was G Idol, but I don't remember which member. But I think that's pretty iconic for Seungmin to be the second ever guest on the show. That's pretty cool. So I'm expecting it to be a little bit different than other episodes of LeeMujin that I've watched because it's only the second episode. So, you know, the format might be different. The set might be different. We'll see. I'm just excited to hear some beautiful vocals from Seungmin and to see what he has to say. I know that in Han's episode, LeeMujin said that Seungmin was kind of nervous at the beginning. So I'm interested to see what they talk about. It also says Levanter Mujin version. So I'm assuming LeeMujin sings Levanter, which is a Stray Kids title track, which I have not heard yet. I'm not there yet in my journey, but I know that that is a special title track. I know that that's the first comeback without Woojin, and I know that that was kind of a very crazy time in the history and everything, obviously. So yeah, it's not going to spoil the song for me because it looks like it says Mujin version, so it's probably not going to sound anything like the Stray Kids version. And I will stop talking. I do know that Ian has an episode as well. I'm just doing Seungmin's first because I felt like it was iconic because it's episode 2. um, but yeah, I'll be back in a couple days probably with Ian's episode as well. So yeah, let's just get into it. All right, this is Seungmin on LeeMujin. Let's go.
좋다 보면 닿을 것만 같았어
Ooh, his
의심타는
voice.
해본 적도 없었어 상상한 널 안았지만 두 손 꽉 널 잡았지만 품속엔 공허함만 남은
Oh, is it a sad
채
song?
헤매이다 결국 깨닫게 됐어 널 놓아야만 한다는
Oh.
걸
Hi, Seungmin.
I wanna be myself 아직 낯설다 해도
Oh, beautiful.
널 벗어난 순간 내가 보여 모든 게 다 눈앞이다 이제는 알겠어 내게 필요했던 건 너란 걸내 두 발이가
Seungmin, what is this? Is this a crop top jacket on? What are you wearing? Are you trying to kill me?
난 대로 걸어가 I feel the light I feel the light I feel the light
Oh, this feels like a worship song taking us to church.
I feel the light I feel the light
That's cool.
Thank you
I've never seen him start the show before. Obviously, all the episodes I've watched have been more recent episodes, and it's usually the guest that starts, like with the most recent comeback, with the most recent title track. So I'm not sure why LeeMujin sang the song. Maybe the format was just different back then. But yeah, look at Seungmin. Look at him clapping.
승민 씨랑 제가 동갑이더라고요. 00년생.
그쵸.
네, 그래서 밀레니엄 베이비들의
네.
오늘 합을 아주 재밌게 한번 만들어 보고자 합니다.
Millennials.
예.
Yeah.
오늘 승민 씨가 게스트로 나오신다고 해가지고
네.
좀 승민 씨의 노래들을 많이 찾아봤는데 좀 목소리가 뭐랄까 많이 담백해요.
Bland,
맥반석
bitch.
계락 같은 그런
Wait, what?
목소리가
Sorry.
뭐랄까 많이 담백해요.
네, 네.
맥반석 계락 같은 그런 목소리더라고요.
예.
좀 그런 담백한 목소리로 이 강렬한 사운드 위에
I'm trying to
노래를 부르신
understand what
건데
he's saying.
그 곡들을 소화하기 위해서 좀 어떤 노력을 해오셨는지 궁금해요.
제가 사실 뭐 가지고 있는 목소리는 약간 초반에는 되게 얇고 그랬었는데 이제 저희 팀 노래를 또 잘 부르기 위해서 저희가 대부분 다 락 기반이고
네.
되게 힙합 세거든요.
맞아요.
약간,
강하더라고요.
약간 리듬이나 약간 밑에를 채워서 내는 그런 연습을 굉장히 많이 했던 것 같고요.
Listen, I'm going to assume that was a translation issue because I could kind of understand what he means. I wouldn't say bland though, because that sounds bland means like lacking flavor, boring. It's not spicy at all. Bland is just bland. That is not Seungmin's voice at all. I will say that Seungmin probably has the most neutral voice, which in my opinion is a good thing, because that means that his voice is more flexible. It's not going to be overpowering. It's going to be able to go on different types of sounds, right? Seungmin's voice is the most, in my opinion, neutral. It's pretty. It goes everywhere. Think of like think of like Solar from Mamamoo. Beautiful voice, right? You've got members like Hwasa, who's got the smoky, sexy voice. You've got Wheein, who's got the breathy, airy, beautiful voice. She can do all the runs and stuff. And then you've got Solar, who is a very stable, solid, powerful vocalist, right? It's more of a neutral sound, and that allows her to sound better like everywhere. Whereas some of the other girls end up doing more, like if it's a breathy, sexy part, it's probably going to be Hwasa doing it. Solar could do it too. That's not saying she couldn't. It's just her voice kind of just goes everywhere, which is kind of what you want from a main vocalist, right? You don't want your main vocalist in a group to have such a unique voice that it doesn't fit some of the songs that you're trying to do. Does that make sense? Kind of how I feel, I'll just be honest, it's kind of how I felt about Woojin in the group. His voice is so R&B and pop. Sometimes I felt like it didn't fit with the songs. Like if Stray Kids was doing a rock song and stuff, and then Woojin comes in with like the breathy kind of like R&B pop sound, sometimes his voice just kind of felt a little out of, like it didn't necessarily fit the song. Still, his voice is pretty, but you know what I'm trying to say? Sometimes it's just like, oh, his voice is different. And then we would go back to like Han doing a power vocal or something. I don't know. Understand what I'm trying to say?
우리 노래할 때는 이런 사람이 돼야 되고 개인 노래할 때는 이런 사람이 돼야 돼. 이렇게 계속 구분을 지어가면서 따로따로 이렇게 연습을 계속 했던 것 같아요.
맞아요. 사실 팀의 컨셉을 따라가면서 그냥 나란 사람의 보컬도 있으니까
그렇죠.
그 두 캐릭터로서 계속 노래를 하는 사람이면 더 힘들 것 같아요.
사실 개인곡 이렇게 완창하는 모습은 아직 많이 못 보여드려가지고 오늘 또 이렇게 좋은 기회라고 생각을 하고.
예, 그럼 그 좋은 기회를 놓칠 수가 없죠. 승민 씨의 노래를 여기서 안 들어볼 수가 없겠는데요.
Yes.
바로 일단
네네.
본인 노래를 들려주시고
네네.
그 다음에 이야기를 이어가 보도록
아
할게요.
좋습니다.
네.
좁은
Oh.
골목길은 또 하염없이 멀어져 마주 앉은 탁자 반대편마저도 봐도 봐도 맞닿을 수가 없어서 내 맘 언제부턴가 긴 그늘을 드리워 우리는 서로가 괜찮다는데
I already have goosebumps. His voice is so pretty. I think this is the first time I've heard him sing a more melodic song like this. Kind of like a slow ballad, OST type vibe. And it's just crazy to me that he thought his voice was thin. Because this voice is not thin. This voice is very rich. And definitely not bland, sir. He's got a lot of beautiful emotion and flavor in his voice.
완전히 돌아갈 수는 없는
Sorry, I'm still side-eyeing Mujin.
감았다 떠보니 너무 멀리 와 있어 이제 이별 뒷면에 서 있는 우리 내게 넌 벅차도록 행복했던 꿈 이제 마지막 장을 넘겨야겠어 많이 했지만 언젠가는 해야겠지.
Wow.
후회하지 마요. 우리가 지나는 시간 그 한순간도 의미 없는 날은 없었고 또다시 가도 너일 테니까 이제
Oh.
내게 넌 벅차도록 행복했던 꿈 이젠 마지막 장을 넘겨야겠어. 많이 아플 테지만 언젠가는 해야겠지. 오, 고마웠어 여기까지.
I would have loved if he held that last note out a little bit longer. Ooh. Very pretty. It didn't resolve the way I thought it would. The piano, that chord. We went into a minor. So, just from what I'm observing, it's very clear that he has worked a lot on his voice. It's very clear that he's worked a lot with the vocal coach, and we saw that. We saw that in the survival show. He was like the only member who kept up with his vocal journal like every single day. He was always writing in it, doing his warm-ups. He's taken his voice very seriously, and it shows. His technique. I was looking at his tongue. He has the flat, like his tongue placement, his mouth placement. Like his technique is beautiful. It's clear that he takes it very seriously. The only thing that might have got him in this performance a little bit was nerves. It kind of sounded like he was nervous. There were a couple moments in the middle where it was a little bit muddy, where he wasn't maybe enunciating as well as he could have. But then he brought it back with like the big notes and his vibrato. His voice is so rich and so pretty. It's perfect for these type of emotional ballad type songs. It's also really good for rock, okay? Rocker Seungmin is probably going to be my weakness. Because he's like bouncing around to being cute with his like puppy face and stuff. He's definitely younger here. No, this was only like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I think. But he doesn't have the braces on anymore, right? He got the braces taken off. That makes singing a lot more difficult too, especially if you have the wire where your bottom and your top are wired to like fix your bite or whatever. Because then you're physically limited with how much you can open your mouth. But then as someone who had braces, as someone who sang and like helped other people sing when I was in college and stuff, because like that's what I studied. I studied vocal performance in college, if you didn't know that. Like getting braces off, it's not like a huge deal, but you do kind of have to relearn how to sing a little bit. If you've ever had braces and you got them taken off, you know, there's no longer metal stuff on your teeth. And so your mouth positions, your shapes, the way you speak, especially within the first couple of weeks, it's different. You speak differently. And so that could also affect the singing too. But I fell in love with his voice on Kingdom, especially the vocal performance with him and Jongho and the the B2B guy that I can never pronounce his name. I'm so sorry. That was a beautiful performance. And yeah, I'm excited to get to some of the Stray Kids B-sides because I hope Stray Kids has some really pretty ballad B-sides where Seungmin's full range can shine. Because Seungmin, I think, does fit the concept better than Woojin just because I think his voice is more neutral tone. But at the same time, on the title tracks, his voice isn't really shining as much as it could because he's got this beautiful expressive range. And, you know, if we're turning up and having fun and stuff like it's, that's not the vibe. So yeah, Seungmin is really good.
어.
I don't have a favorite vocalist in Stray Kids yet, but
사실 이 노래를 팬분들께 언젠가는 꼭
it's kind of all of
들려드리고
them.
싶어서 왜냐면 노래 처음 나왔을 때부터 가사랑 그런 게 너무
Oh, sorry.
와닿아.
I'm sorry. I'm in a talkative mood today. I was on YouTube yesterday looking at obviously I'm not going to react to everything if I'm just like looking at a little YouTube short or whatever. Here's the funny thing. Somehow I'm watching a lot of Stray Kids stuff, so my recommendations are all Stray Kids right now. And Stray Kids vocal stuff got recommended, but it was like people's opinions. It was vocal ranking, which I hate vocal rankings. I think it's toxic. I think that you should not compare talent. It's one thing, like if someone has a bigger range, that's like a fact, right? This person has a bigger range than this person. Okay, well, that's a fact. But who is the better singer is usually personal preference. And as someone who went to school for music, comparing other people's talent is like very toxic. And the person on the receiving end of that, it's a very mental, especially if you're someone who deals with anxiety, constantly comparing yourself to other people. Seungmin doesn't need to go online and see other people saying, this person's a better singer, he's the weakest, whatever. But the lists I saw had Seungmin as one of the best fourth generation vocalists. But that's not what I'm talking about. They were specifically ranking Stray Kids members. Who's the best vocalist? And like, people are allowed to have their opinions and stuff, but I don't know. It's just, I would hate for, like, I would hate for IN to stumble across one of those things and maybe the person says he's the weakest vocalist, which is, he wasn't the weakest vocalist on any of those lists. Okay. But he should have been higher on a lot of them. Don't be putting IN at 6th or 7th place in your vocal rankings. I will never give you my vocal rankings for the group because that is a personal style preference. But I do love all of them. I do love all of them. Han's voice. Ugh. Felix's voice. Felix when he's in his lower range. Okay, Felix has a very pretty melodic voice. And a lot of people were not giving his voice enough credit on their rankings or whatever. I just eventually got annoyed after reading some of the people's comments. Changbin, his voice is very good too. Okay. I don't know how I got onto this subject, but I was really annoyed. And so many people were not giving Bang Chan credit either. How are you going to do a vocal ranking list and put Bang Chan at the bottom? Excuse me? He has the most training out of everyone, and his voice is gorgeous. But if it was a ranking, like, okay, everyone is a great vocalist, so there's no need to say anything. But anyway, Seungmin, your voice is beautiful. I love it. I'm sorry for going on a tangent, but I'm feeling kind of protective because I hate it. I hate it when people are online just being obnoxious and saying so-and-so is like a weak vocal group or it's annoying. Sorry.
가지고 몰래 연습을 하고 있었거든요. 근데 사실 이 노래가 개인적으로 부르기 힘들었던 게 몰입을 굉장히 잘해야 되고 너무 슬픈 가사여가지고 표현하기 굉장히 힘들었는데 방금도 되게 좀 집중 많이 해가지고 불렀던 것 같아요.
너무 표현이 잘 되던데 지금 거의 뭐 얼마 전에 헤어지고 거나
I don't like the format of the video. It's like
감정 다 올라오는 근데
squashed.
절제된 너무 좋게 들었습니다. 감정 표현 능력이
like we're not even getting all of his head in the frame because they're shooting it in this cinematic like widescreen angle, which I don't like it because I want to see all of his head.
상당하신데요. 아까
네.
가사가 와닿는다고 말씀을 하셨는데 비슷한 경험을 하신 적이 있어요. 이렇게 후회하지 말자. 우리 이별 아름다웠어.
네.
Has he been through breakups?
사실 무표정인
You trying to
이별이
get the
제일
tea,
슬픈
sir?
이별이거든요. 울면서 하는 이별은 거기서 표현을 하는데
네네. 해보셨어요?
저는 뭐 나는 말할 수 있다. 난 해봤어요.
저는 아직까지는 네, 그런 슬픈 경험은 아직까지는 없는 것 같고
He's not allowed to tell you even if he was.
접해보긴 했는데 하게 되면 엄청 슬플 것 같아요.
전에
See, he could have just answered, I stand day 6. And then LeeMujin would have been like, oh, Okay, you understand depressing songs. Okay, I got it.
얼핏 들은 얘기인데 승민 씨가 보컬에 욕심이 굉장히 많다고 들었었거든요.
항상 생각하면서 연습하는 게 있는데 제 노래를 어떤 곡을 부르던 간에 제 목소리를 들으신 분들이 그 노래를 딱 들었을 때 그 순간의 기억이 그때를 되돌아서 생각을 했을 때 내가 요때 요런 기억이 있었구나, 요런 좋은 기억으로 승민이의 노래를 들었었구나, 요런 느낌을 이렇게 많이 드리고 싶어서 항상 그거를 생각을 하면서, 여기 계신 분들도 마찬가지고, 네. 항상 그거를 생각하면서 연습을 하고, 모든 분들의 마음에 와닿을 수는 없겠지만 그래도 최대한 많은 분들에게 조금 쉽게 접근하려고 많은 생각을 하고 있는 것 같아요.
또 빨리 다른 노래를 들어보고 싶어요.
네네.
두 번째 곡은 어떤 곡을 준비하셨나요?
두 번째 곡은 제 노래방 18번 곡이라고 할 수도 있는
자주 부르는.
네, 전람회 김동률 선배님의 취중진담.
What is he doing? Lee Mujin's hair is really cute like that, though. He's gonna get so wasted tonight. How old? Wait a minute. How old is he? Yeah, he would have been old enough to drink at this point. But I don't know. What's the age in Korea? Is it 18 or is it 21? I think it's 18 in Korea. But is this a Trot song? Who likes Trot and Stray? I think it's it's IN. Jongin. IN loves Trot music. I don't know about Seungmin though.
이거 나 오늘 밤에 술을 안 먹을
It
수가
might just be a
없겠구만.
classic. Drunken Truth. Oh. Oh, he might have just said I'm gonna get drunk because of the name of the song also. Because sorry, I need to hear. I love Seungmin's low. I love his low notes. His lower range, so pretty.
난 취했는지도 몰라 실수인지도 몰라
Ooh.
아침이면 까마득히 생각이 안 나 불안해할지도 몰라 하지만 꼭 오늘 밤엔 해야 할 말이
Excuse me?
있어 약한 모습 미안해도 술김에 하는 말이라 생각지는 마 언제나 네 앞에 서면 준비했었던 말도 왜 나 반대로 말해놓고 돌아서 후회하는지 이젠 고백할게 처음부터 너를 사랑해왔다고 이렇게 널 사랑해 어설픈 나의 말이 촌스럽고 못 믿어도 아무에게나 늘 이런 얘기하는 그런 사람은 아니야
Ooh.
만큼이나 나도 참 어색해 너를 똑바로 쳐다볼 수 없어 자꾸만 아까부터 했던 말도 왜 미안해 하지만 오늘 난 모두 다 말할 거야
Beautiful.
이렇게 널 사랑해 어설픈 나의 말이 촌스럽고 못 믿어도 그냥 하는 말이
Okay, here's the only thing. Here's the only thing. I love his voice. His voice is very pretty. I've never heard these songs before, so I don't know if this is how the song is sang. But what I'm noticing is he's doing something vocally that we look at me being a vocal coach. I did do a little bit of vocal coaching in college, but he's doing something that we typically tell people not to do. And it's like a flush. He's after the end of the note, letting all of the excess air out. And for it makes your it makes your breath support harder, your breath control, because like you're just dumping all of the air out at the end of the phrase. I would love it if he kind of held the notes out a little bit longer, but I also don't know the style of the song. I don't know if that's how the song is written. It wasn't just on this song though, it was on the other song too. It's more noticeable on this song though. But again, the drunken truth, the song could be like you're the person in the song is drunk. So maybe in the original it is kind of sung stylistically slurring and dropping your words at the end. I don't know. But that's typically something that we try to avoid. Yeah, and there's just been a couple moments where I wish he would like hold the note out a little bit longer or yeah, but I do think he probably yeah, his voice is probably the strongest. I mean, he's the main vocalist, so obviously, but yeah, I'll say that his voice is the strongest in Stray Kids. I will say that. But like they're all incredible.
뭐 믿어도 그냥 하는 말이 아냐 두 번 다시 이런 일 없을 거야 아침이 밝아오면 다시 한번 널 품에 안고 사랑한다 말할게
Beautiful. That was beautiful. The ending the notes early thing might have also been nerves.
야,
Because
아까
like
이별
subconsciously you can do that if you're nervous in a performance because it's like you're subconsciously like dropping the note just a tiny bit early because it's in subconsciously you're like, can we just get this over sooner? I want to get out of here. Like that can happen sometimes when you're performing too.
뒷면 같은 경우는 이 시대가 원하는 가장 고급지고 가장 아련하고 가장 묻어있는 그런 이별에 대한 얘기였는데 취중진담 같은 경우는 이 시대가 정말 싫어하는 아까부터 내가 자꾸 했던 말 그래서 미안해 술 좀 먹어가지고 술 마셔 하는 게 진짜 내 진심이야 하면서 하는 노래잖아요. 이 두 감정을 둘 다 소화하기가 연습하면서도 많이 힘들었을 것 같은데 너무 잘 불러주셔서 잘 들었습니다.
He did nail
감사합니다.
it.
노래방 18번 곡이라고 말씀을 하셨는데 노래방 가면 이 노래 말고도 부르는 노래가 있을 거잖아요. 또 어떤 노래를 좀 주로 부르세요?
성시경 선배님의 희재도 많이 불렀던 거.
그대 떠나가는 그
Does the band doesn't know that one.
셋 후렴 처음부터 원
그대 떠나가는 그 순간도 나를 걱정했었나요 무엇도 해줄 수 없는 내 맘 앞에서 그대 나를 떠나간다 해도 난 그댈 보낸 적 없죠 여전히 그댄 나를 살게 하는 이유일 테니.
Okay, so I love that. This episode, it's the second episode they've ever done, right? It feels more spontaneous. LeeMujin now is still an incredible program, but it feels more rehearsed. Like everything transitions very smoothly. And this, he was like, hey, can you sing that song? And the band was just like trying to figure out the chords and trying to figure it out on the fly. And there was like a little bit of like an awkwardness. And then he just started singing and like awkwardly laughing. Like that has its charm. To me, that feels more authentic. I understand that the the newer episodes are definitely more polished and professional, but I really like that. that was cool.
아픈 감정을 잘 표현하시는 것 같아요. 또 이거 심지어 아주
He's a
웃기게
great
제가
singer.
즉흥적으로 거의 공격하다시피 이렇게 요청을 드렸는데
아, 예, 많이 보여드리면 저는 너무 좋죠.
좋아요. 이제 이 리무진 서비스의 하이라이트죠.
그렇죠.
게스트와 MC가 듀엣을 하게 될 텐데요. 우리가 오늘 무슨 노래를 준비했죠?
아이유 선배님의 아이와 나의
오.
바다라는 곡입니다. 네.
대명곡이죠.
좋은 기회를 통해서
A
같이 부르게 돼서 너무
masterpiece.
영광입니다. 진짜.
제가 영광입니다. 저 이무진과 스트레이키즈 승민 씨가 함께하는 아이와 나의 바다 들려드리겠습니다.
I need to react to the IU killing voice. That just reminded me. I've been saying I was going to do it for like over a year.
그러나 시간이 지나도 아물지 않는 일들이 있지. 내가 날 온전히 사랑하지 못해서 마음이 가난한 밤이야.
Ooh, the dynamics.
거울 속에 마주친 얼굴이 어색해서 습관처럼 조용히 눈을 감아.
Oh, beautiful.
밤이 되면 서둘러 내일로 가고 싶어. 수많은 소원 아래 매일 다른 꿈을 꾸던 아이는 그렇게 오랜 시간 겨우 내가 되려고 아팠던 걸까. 겨우 내가 되려 쌓이는 하루만큼 더 멀어져.
Wow, they sounded great together.
알 수 없을 것 같아.
Sorry, I want to hear his little run again.
하루만큼 더 멀어져. 우리는 화해할 수 없을 것 같아.
So he's got pretty good vocal agility too. I know that run was only like it was like a quick little 3-note run, but I'm trying to think on Stray Kids music. I haven't really heard him do a lot of runs and stuff, like crazy R&B runs. Probably, I'm sure there's some songs that do that, but let me know, does he have the best agility in the group? And agility just means the ad libs, the runs, the Beyonce, being able to sing 5 notes in half a second. I would assume that Seungmin has the best vocal agility, but who knows? Sometimes people have really good vocal agility because of the type of training they've done or the type of music that they grew up singing. If you grow up singing a ton of R&B and if you grew up listening to Whitney Houston and singing Whitney Houston songs every day, you may have a better agility than someone who grew up singing rock music. Doesn't necessarily mean that person is overall like a better vocalist. They might just have better. See what I'm saying? So let me know. But that was very pretty. I want to hear more of that. I want to hear more of Seungmin doing like R&B stuff.
나아지지 않을 것 같아. 어린 날 내 맘엔 영원히 가물지 않는 바다가 있었지. 이제는 흔적만이 남아 희미한 그곳에
Yeah.
설렘으로 차오르던 나의 숨소리와 머리 위로 선선히 부는 바람 파도가 되어 어디로든 달려가고 싶어. 작은 두려움 아래 천천히 두 눈을 뜨면 세상은 그렇게 오랜 시간 내게로 와 눈부신
gorgeous.
무슨 선물이 숱하게 의심하던 나는 그제야 나에게 대답할 수 있을 것 같아. 선 너머의 기억이 나를 부르고 있어. 아주 오랜 시간 동안 잊고 있던 목소리에 물결을 거슬러 나 돌아가 내 안에 바다가 태어난 곳으로
I've never heard this song before.
휩쓸려 길을 잃어도 자유로워 더 이상 날 가두는 어둠에 눈 감지 두 번 다시 날 모른 척하지 않아.
Ooh, this is a long song.
그럼에도 여전히 가끔은
His eyes, I've noticed that his eyes kind of get big sometimes when he opens his mouth more.
여전히 가끔은
It's actually cute.
삶에게 지는 날들도 있겠지. 또다시 헤매일지라도 돌아오는 길에 알아.
Ooh. So they sounded really good together because Seungmin's voice is a little bit thinner than LeeMujin. LeeMujin has a very full voice. Sometimes it feels a little bit too heavy. And then he's got that tone that he uses. He's got that style that he kind of makes his voice have. That kind of like indie, kind of like Bruno Mars-ish tone that he uses. But with Seungmin having a thinner voice, especially when they're doing harmonies together, if they both had these thick, full, heavy voices, it would kind of sound just like muddy, and it would just kind of sound like they were singing over each other. With Seungmin's voice being thinner, it allows it to kind of cut through. I think Seungmin has kind of a more like piercing voice, and so when they were doing harmonies together, you could very clearly hear both parts, especially Seungmin's part. And yeah, when you're singing a duet, that's like, this is the ideal, you know. Have you ever heard a duet where both of the people kind of sound similar and you can't really tell? If you just closed your eyes, you couldn't really tell who was singing in what moment. Like, that's not exciting. That's not dynamic. It's just two people singing the same thing. So yeah, this duet was very good. And then
오늘 이렇게 저랑 또
네.
00년생 동갑내기끼리 만나봤는데 이 씬에 올라와서 메이저 씬에 올라와서 동갑내기 뮤지션과 합을 맞추는 일이 없었단 말이에요. 그래서 저는 굉장히 좋은 경험이었는데
네.
어떠셨나요?
그동안 이제 들려드리지 못했던 얘기들이랑 노래도 많이 부르고 이렇게 얘기하다 갈 수 있어서 너무너무 좋은 시간이었어요. 진짜.
아,
못 잊을 것
감사합니다.
같아요.
못 잊기까지.
네.
아유,
진짜 못 잊을 것
감사합니다.
같아요. 네. 제가 활동하면서 좀 크게 기억에 남을 것 같은 하루인 것
그
같아요.
정도예요?
네.
I'm still trying to figure out Seungmin's personality, honestly. Um, I can't put my finger on it because, like, he doesn't seem. I think he's just really kind of chill when he's with other people, with people he maybe doesn't know. Um, he seemed a little bit nervous when he was singing, when he was performing, but that's to be expected. He hadn't done really any solo stuff before. Because I think in my Han and Seungmin Two Kids episode, someone told me I got their personalities switched up. And they said that Seungmin was more of the extrovert and Han was more of the introvert. And I could maybe see that. Obviously, their personality is their personality. I'm still learning them. I don't know them that well yet. Um, but yeah, Seungmin didn't like. He seemed like he was happy to be there, and he didn't seem shy. Like maybe he isn't. Maybe he's more extroverted. He's just like chill and quiet. Like especially at the end of that, he was just like being polite and friendly, and LeeMujin was like, "I made a new friend today," and Seungmin was like just smiling and being very polite. I could totally see them like going to the bar afterwards and like getting a drink or something. I think that I don't know. I think that Seungmin might just be more mature and chill. I guess I don't know. Let me know. Obviously, I'm still kind of at the beginning of my Stray Kids journey, and the more I watch Skiz Code and their interviews and stuff like that, the more I'll kind of understand their personalities better. Um, except for Lino, I don't know. Lino, Lino is kind of. I never know what to think about him. I think he might just be a little crazy, but I love him. I was looking at a, I was looking at a thread today on Twitter. It was like, a couple threads. Lino being your boyfriend. I looked at that thread. Lino being an animal lover. That one melted my heart. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry for talking so much on this episode. I was just feeling a little bit more analytical. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. I don't know. I feel bad because I didn't really talk that much about Han's vocal technique. I was just kind of like crushing on him and enjoying the episode. With Seungmin's, I hope people don't take it the wrong way. He's a great singer. He's incredible. And he's gotten even better since this episode came out. Seungmin on Kingdom was one of the things that made me want to like check more of Stray Kids out just because of how impressed I was with his voice. So yeah, I am loving my Stray Kids journey. Like I said, I'll be back very soon with IN's episode. If you're watching this on Patreon, thank you. I'm posting it early on Patreon, and then I'll be posting it on YouTube here in a couple days. With YouTube, I always got to fight the copyright, so it takes a little bit longer to get the episodes uploaded there. But yeah, I'll be back soon on Patreon, probably with another Skiz Code or another Two Kids Room episode, which I'm going to upload those to YouTube as well. Patreon right now is just like an early access. For my Patreon people, eventually I will soon have some Stray Kids stuff that I can't post on YouTube, like the travel stuff or like other shows that I can't post on YouTube. So I appreciate you being here. I will see you guys later. Bye.